Canada, once known as the land of opportunity where millions came to start a better life, is seeing more and more immigrants leaving. People are packing up and looking for better prospects elsewhere. So, why are so many immigrants leaving Canada? What's behind this growing trend? In today's video, we'll explore the real reasons and facts that are causing people to say goodbye to Canada. You might be surprised by the numbers. Stick around, because this could change how you see the Great White North. Canada's immigration policies have long been praised for being inclusive and welcoming. In fact, over 400,000 immigrants arrived in Canada in 2023 alone. But what's shocking is that, at the same time, a significant number of immigrants are leaving the country. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just about people arriving anymore, it's about people leaving too. In 2023, around 990,000 immigrants decided to leave Canada. This number is expected to rise in 2024 and could peak in 2025, with projections estimating that about 100,000 immigrants might say goodbye to Canada in 2024, and even more in 2025, depending on the state of the economy. You might be wondering what's driving people to leave Canada. Let's talk numbers, starting with inflation. In 2023, Canada's inflation rate was around 3.8%, and while it's slightly cooling, it still affects everything: housing, groceries, and utilities. Let's break it down. The cost of groceries in Canada has soared. In 2023, the average Canadian household spent over $113,000 a year on food, nearly 10% more than the previous year. A gallon of milk now costs around $5, and vegetables cost $4 to $5 per pound on average. But it's not just food. Housing is a major issue too. In cities like Toronto and Vancouver, housing prices have hit sky-high levels. The average price of a home in Canada is now over $700,000, and rent for a basic apartment in Toronto can cost anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 per month. How can young immigrants, fresh off the plane, make a life here when they can barely afford the basics? The affordability crisis is real, and it's pushing many people out of the country. People who came to Canada seeking a better future, but are now finding themselves stuck in an impossible situation. Before we continue to the next point on our list, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can get more travel-related information through our videos. Let's talk about the cost of living in numbers. A single person in Canada, on average, needs about $2,000 per month just to cover basic expenses: rent, utilities, transportation, food, and health insurance. In some cities, this number is even higher, with $3,000 or more per month becoming the new reality. For families, it's not uncommon to see monthly expenses climb to well over $5,000. And here's where things take a turn. Many immigrants who come to Canada are used to living on tight budgets, but when their monthly expenses become unsustainable, they start looking for alternatives. Countries with lower living costs, better job opportunities, or simply a more affordable standard of living are becoming more attractive than ever. It's not just about what you spend, it's also about what you earn. Canada's job market can be competitive, and wages aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living. The minimum wage in most Canadian provinces is around $15 to $18 per hour. But even full-time workers can struggle to cover basic expenses when housing costs are sky-high, and inflation is eating away at their income. Immigrants come to Canada for better job opportunities, but many are finding that the high-paying jobs they were promised simply aren't there. Without access to affordable housing and with rising expenses, many are choosing to return home or seek opportunities in countries where the cost of living is more in line with what they earn. Moving to a new country can be challenging, and for many immigrants in Canada, the social and emotional toll is too much to handle. Mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation are on the rise. Many immigrants, especially those coming from countries with strong family ties, feel the weight of being far from loved ones, which can affect their decision to stay. Research shows that over 50% of immigrants face mental health challenges due to isolation, cultural barriers, and financial stress. These emotional hurdles are just as real as the financial ones, and for many, they become the tipping point that leads them to leave. One of the major frustrations faced by immigrants in Canada is the bureaucratic red tape that often delays the immigration process. Despite Canada's immigration system being regarded as one of the best in the world, it is also notorious for its significant backlogs and extended wait times. Immigrants seeking permanent residency or work permits frequently find themselves stuck in a limbo, where the process can take years to complete. This prolonged uncertainty can cause immense stress and frustration, especially when people are trying to settle into a new life. For many, the waiting period feels like an indefinite stretch of time with little to no progress, which leads them to reevaluate their options. Countries like the United States and Australia have been working to streamline their immigration processes, offering more predictable and timely pathways. As a result, some immigrants, rather than continuing to wait in the hope of receiving a decision, are choosing to leave Canada for countries where the immigration journey feels more transparent and efficient. This shift highlights the need for Canada to address its immigration backlogs in order to maintain its appeal as a destination for newcomers. The political climate in Canada has become a growing concern for many newcomers. While Canada has long prided itself on being inclusive, certain policies and political rhetoric have made some immigrants feel unwelcome. Immigration debates, rising nationalist sentiment, and a shift toward more conservative politics have created a tense atmosphere, leading some immigrants to rethink their future here. Some immigrants feel that the welcoming atmosphere they once thought Canada offered is fading, making them question whether they truly belong in such an environment. It's easy to see why some would choose to leave for countries with a more welcoming or stable political landscape. So, what's next? Will this trend continue? The truth is, it's hard to say, but based on the data, it's clear that the issues surrounding the cost of living, the job market, and social factors are not going away anytime soon. If the government doesn't take more decisive action to address the affordability crisis, we could see even more immigrants packing their bags and heading to countries with a lower cost of living, better job prospects, and an overall better quality of life. Projections for 2025 suggest that the number of immigrants leaving Canada could exceed 100,000, an alarming trend that raises questions about the sustainability of Canada's current immigration policies. So, what can be done to change this course? Only time will tell. What do you think? Is Canada still the land of opportunity, or are rising costs, stagnant wages, and social challenges driving immigrants away for good? With projections showing even higher numbers of people potentially leaving in 2025, this question is more urgent than ever. If you're an immigrant or considering moving to Canada, what would it take for you to stay or leave? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights on Canada's immigration story. The conversation is just getting started. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep questioning the world around you.